yourself, volunteers. This session is Snow Tracks and Traces, and this video is on Center 1, which is snowflake formation. So this is the center where the kids are going to learn all about snow. So I would probably begin with the snow crystal classification chart. So it talks about the different types of designs that the snow can make. And then there are also handouts for each individual type with a really nice big picture for them to look at. As you talk about it, you can kind of lay them all out and go through them. We also have some 3D. These are pretty fragile and a little tricky, but they are 3D models of, so for example, it is labeled, this is the hexagonal column. So you guys can look at those as well. Just be gentle. They're pretty fragile, like I said. So you can talk about how snowflakes form. There are these Icy Axe pages that talk about how different weather creates different types of precipitation. And then each snow crystal classification also forms under different weather conditions. So you can talk about all of that. We also have these large posters, and there's one for each type of precipitation cycle. So if you get them all out and kind of compare and contrast and see how hail is formed compared to the other types of precipitation. And then you want to talk about the designs within each snowflake. So there are ridges, which are the thicker portions, grooves, cavities, etc. And then after you talk about the different types, you can talk how, or the different designs, you can talk about how they can form stuff. So this is a hidden image handout. So this particular handout, you can just do as a group and see what each kid sees within the snowflakes. There are no wrong or right answers, it's just whatever you see. And there's also this Who's Who with the Snowflake Zoo, which would be pretty fun for the younger kids. So it has the whole alphabet, and each letter has a snowflake, and the snowflake has an animal that starts with the letter. So for example, A has some alligators in the snowflake, and then you could go through the whole thing and the kids can kind of guess which animals are which. And then after you've talked about all that stuff, the activity that we are going to do is to create a snowflake on our own. So we are using coffee filters. They are a lot easier to cut than regular paper. And so the coffee filters are round. In order to get the beautiful six-sided snowflake, you do need to start with a square. So for the older kids, if they have the patience and you have the time, they can just cut off the top curves and make a pretty nice, the curves on each side and make a pretty nice square to work with. For the younger kids, or if it's just a little tricky, not working out for you, if you just use them as round and fold them up and do some cuts, you will learn in your classifications that there are things called irregular particles that have no specific form. So if it doesn't seem to turn out with the six sides, you're making an irregular particle. It'll be fine. But if you can follow the directions on here, you will end up with a pretty nice six-sided snowflake. But again, for the younger kids, it's pretty tricky. So just have fun with it.